Imagine standing in front of a vast ocean where trillions of liters of water, about 350 quintillion gallons, sparkle in the sunlight. When you scoop a bucket of water from the ocean, all you see is clear water, but does that really tell the whole story? Not at all. Beneath those sparkling waves lies a vibrant world, where rich ecosystems lurk, waiting to be discovered. The Earth's oceans, with their majestic beauty, are a reminder that the universe is also filled with wonders far beyond what the naked eye can see. In the grand scheme of the universe, humanity's exploration is just a tiny grain of sand in the vast desert. Yet, with just that little effort, we have discovered dozens of planets that have the potential to harbor life. Today, we will get lost in the mysterious world of Kepler worlds, distant planets where our imaginations are lit by the thought of life beyond Earth. Is there somewhere, among the stars, a copy of our blue planet? Scientists call these planets twin Earths, planets similar to Earth, where life can exist. An ideal twin Earth must be about the same size as Earth, opening up the possibility of possessing a solid rocky surface. But size alone is not enough. The planet must orbit a star similar to our Sun, not too hot, not too cold, with just the right amount of radiation. More importantly, it must be in the Goldilocks zone, the perfect distance from the star where liquid water can exist, creating conditions for life to sprout. Have you ever wondered if there is a planet out there that is as green and bright as our Earth? Among the twinkling stars, Kepler 452b stands out as a gem. Discovered in 2015, it is the most Earth-like planet ever found, orbiting a star similar to the Sun. Kepler 452, a G-type star, radiates the same light and temperature as the Sun, but is 1.5 billion years older, with a lifespan of up to 6 billion years. Despite being 120% brighter than the Sun and 110% larger, Kepler 452b receives only about 10% more solar energy than Earth. At 1.6 times the size of Earth, scientists believe there is a more than 50% chance that this planet is a rocky planet, a potential super-Earth. The planet orbits its star every 385 days, almost the same as Earth's 365 days, and is in the Goldilocks zone, 5% farther from its star than Earth is from the Sun. What's more special? Kepler 452b has spent 6 billion years in the habitable zone, a much longer time than Earth. Could life have emerged on this planet as it did on our own? But for life to exist, it needs more than just the right location. A recent study suggests that if Kepler 452b had similar atmospheric CO2 levels to Earth, it could be habitable. Imagine a planet with lush forests, sparkling oceans, and even exotic creatures never seen before? But what would it be like to live on Kepler 452b? With its greater mass, the gravity on the planet's surface could be twice as strong as Earth's. Think about how it would feel to have twice the weight on your body. Walking would be difficult, as if you were carrying a giant backpack on your shoulders. At first, humans might struggle with this change. But as one NASA astronaut once shared, our bodies are more amazing than we think. Like firefighters training to carry heavy loads, we adapt, getting stronger over time. Our muscles will tone, our bones will strengthen, and eventually, we will be able to call this alien planet home. But is this planet truly welcoming to us, or are there other mysteries waiting? As we continue to explore Kepler 452b and other planets, bigger questions arise. Is there life out there? And if so, what might it look like? Take a step forward to delve deeper into the mysteries of the universe, where every star is a story, and every planet is a dream waiting to be discovered. Imagine setting foot on Kepler 452b, where the powerful gravity pulls you down like a challenging greeting from a strange planet. Every step is a small battle, but the human body is inherently miraculous. Through constant physical activity, our bones will gradually become stronger, like steel pillars against the planet's gravity. Over many generations, children born on Kepler 452b will possess superior physiques, much stronger than babies on Earth. But is everything completely strange? Not really. Under the gentle light of the star Kepler 452, you will feel familiar as if standing under the sunlight of your hometown. The surface temperature here is not too different, bringing a feeling of pleasant warmth. The green fields, if any, will still rely on photosynthesis to grow, competing to grow at the same pace as on Earth. Scientists also predict that Kepler 452b has a thick atmosphere, with sparkling oceans and even quietly active volcanoes. Can you imagine a world that is both familiar and mysterious? If these predictions are correct, Kepler 452b is a worthy candidate for the title of Earth 2.0. But time is not on this planet's side forever. Researchers warn that in about 500 million years, Kepler 452b could face an uncontrolled greenhouse effect, a phenomenon that once turned Venus into a giant furnace, with an atmosphere 90 times thicker than Earth. Still, 500 million years is a long time, long enough for humans to turn this place into a new home, building interstellar cities. However, Kepler 452b is not the only planet that makes us dream. At 1,800 light-years away, this planet is so far away that even light would take millennia to reach it. Just think, if we use the Parker Solar Probe, the fastest man-made machine, traveling at 190 kilometers per second, it would still take 2.8 million years to reach Kepler 452b. That's an incredible journey. But luckily, the universe has many closer options. 500 light-years from Earth, in the constellation Cygnus, is the Kepler 186 system, home to a tiny red dwarf star. Here, scientists have discovered Kepler 186f, the first planet nearly the size of Earth, located in the Goldilocks zone of a distant star. Since then, astronomers have become increasingly convinced that the universe is teeming with Earth-like planets where liquid water could exist, opening up the possibility of life. Kepler 186f is less than 10% larger than Earth, orbits in 130 days, and sits on the outer edge of the habitable zone. As a result, the planet receives just 1/3 as much heat as Earth, making its climate somewhat like Mars, cold and harsh. But don't despair. The red dwarf star Kepler 186 is smaller, cooler, and less luminous than the Sun. Although it regularly emits bursts of radiation, Kepler 186f is far enough away to avoid deadly impacts. Could it be a place where life could flourish? The likelihood of liquid water on Kepler 186f depends not only on its distance from the star, but also on its atmosphere. With a slightly larger size, the planet could have a thick atmosphere, which would help trap heat and distribute energy, turning frozen lakes into warm streams. Imagine a planet with red sunrises under the light of a dwarf star, where life could be quietly thriving in mysterious valleys. But the story of these distant planets is not over yet. Is Kepler 186f really a place we can call home? Or are there other worlds, with even more wonderful conditions, waiting to be discovered? Let's turn the page, where the universe continues to reveal its fascinating secrets, bringing us closer to the dream of conquering the stars. In addition to Kepler 186f's star, there are 4 other planets in the Kepler 186 system: Kepler 186b, 186c, 186d, and 186e. These companions are about half the size of Earth, and they zip through orbits at breakneck speeds: 4 days, 7 days, 13 days, and 22 days. At such close range to their red dwarf stars, these planets are so hot that they are fiery worlds where life as we know it is unlikely to exist. But Kepler 186f, the system's brightest star, tells a different story, a hopeful one. Just imagine, to set foot on Kepler 186f today, it would take a mind-boggling 780,000 years to travel, a number that makes our heads spin. But what if one day, in the distant future, humanity builds a spacecraft that can travel 90% of the speed of light? In just 550 years, our descendants could land on this planet. What would they see? Under the red glow of the dwarf star Kepler 186 to 25 times smaller and dimmer than the Sun, noon on Kepler 186f looks like sunset on Earth, with the sky tinged a soft orange. Can you imagine standing in that light, looking at a world both familiar and strange? Even more amazing is that Kepler 186f has a stable axial tilt, providing regular seasons and a consistent climate, just like our own Earth. Scientists calculate that this tilt has held steady for tens of millions of years, a vital factor. A planet with a wobbly tilt, like Mars, could turn into a barren desert due to extreme climate change. Kepler 186f, with its stability, sounds like an invitation. This could be humanity's new home. But the search for a second Earth doesn't stop at Kepler 186f. A chance discovery in 2020 shook the scientific world. Kepler 1649c. Initially misjudged as a fake, the planet turned out to be a gem. With an orbit of just 19.5 days, Kepler 1649c receives 75% of the sunlight as Earth, giving it a surface temperature that could be similar to our own. While details about its atmosphere remain a mystery, its location in the Goldilocks zone makes Kepler 1649c a strong candidate. Without a heat-retaining atmosphere, Kepler 186f's surface temperature would be as low as -39 degrees Celsius, colder than Earth without the greenhouse effect, around -18 degrees Celsius. To compensate, Kepler 186f would need a more greenhouse gas-rich atmosphere, a small detail that opens up the possibility of life. The universe is home to many other worlds similar in size and temperature to Earth, such as TRAPPIST-1f, TRAPPIST-1d, Teegarden-C, or TOI 700d, and they are much closer to us. But Kepler 1649c still stands out for its unique combination: nearly Earth-like size, ideal temperatures, and a perfect location in the habitable zone. However, the journey here is not easy. 470,000 years separates us from this planet. Still, if we do one day conquer that distance, Kepler 1649c promises to be a worthwhile destination. The Kepler 1649 system also has another planet, Kepler 1649b, which is about 8% larger than Earth but is too close to its red dwarf star to support life. Interestingly, the 4:9 orbital ratio between the two planets suggests that there may be a third planet lurking somewhere. With the next generation of telescopes on the horizon, we will soon have more clues about the habitability of these worlds. Have you ever wondered what awaits us among the stars? As the story of Kepler 186f and Kepler 1649c comes to a close, new mysteries are unfolding. Are these planets really places that humans can call home? Or are there other worlds, with even more wonders, waiting to be discovered? Let's move on to the next page, where the universe continues to reveal its grand dreams, bringing us closer to untouched horizons. 1,100 light-years away, in the twinkling constellation Lyra, a promising planet quietly orbits its star, Kepler 442b. Every 112 days, the planet completes one orbit around the K-type star, which lies about half the distance from Earth to the Sun. Is this proximity a barrier to life? Not necessarily. While planets too close to their stars are tidally locked, leaving one side blazing hot and the other frigid, Kepler 442b is fortunately just outside that danger zone. The planet is a delicate dance of perfect balance. Kepler 442, an orange dwarf that is smaller and cooler than the Sun, radiates a gentle light, creating the ideal conditions for life. At 0.4 astronomical units away, Kepler 442b sits comfortably in the Goldilocks zone, where liquid water can exist. K-type stars like Kepler 442 are considered the sweet spot in the hunt for habitable planets. They are not as bright as G-type stars, nor as durable as M-type red dwarfs, but they offer the perfect combination: long lifespans of 15 to 45 billion years and a slight increase in brightness of only 10 to 15% over time. Our Sun, meanwhile, could render Earth uninhabitable in just 1 to 2 billion years. Have you ever thought that among these orange dwarfs, a new world awaits us? Within just 100 light-years of the Sun, there are at least 1,000 orange dwarfs like Kepler 442, each a potential opportunity to find life. But what makes Kepler 442b special? Astronomers use the Comparative Habitability Index to evaluate the potential of planets. The index considers a number of factors, from the planet's composition, which favors rocky worlds like Earth, to the eccentricity of its orbit, which affects the stability of its light and heat. Albedo, the ability of the atmosphere to reflect solar energy, also plays a role. All of these factors help determine whether a planet could support life, even if its orbit isn't perfect. On both the Earth Similarity Index and the Comparative Habitability Index, Kepler 442b scores an impressive 0.84 on a scale of 0 to 1. That makes it a strong candidate for the title of second Earth. However, due to its distance and small size, Kepler 442b is currently beyond the reach of direct telescope observation. The journey to the planet would take a staggering 1.7 million years using the fastest probe ever built. But there is hope. A study suggests that Kepler 442b receives enough light to sustain a substantial biosphere, which could be detected by the James Webb Space Telescope. Could we soon see signs of life on this planet? In the same constellation Lyra, the Kepler-62 system also attracts attention with two planets in the Goldilocks zone, Kepler-62e and Kepler-62f. The other three planets in the system, Kepler-62b, 62c, and 62d, are too close to their K-type stars, making them inhospitable hotbeds for life. But Kepler-62e and 62f are different. With Earth similarity indexes of 0.83 and 0.69, respectively, both are thought to be water-rich worlds where oceans might sparkle under the stars. Kepler-62e completes one orbit in 122 days, while Kepler-62f is slower and has a longer orbit. These two planets are like precious gems, evoking images of distant shores and lush forests. But the story of these planets does not end here. Are Kepler 442b, Kepler-62e, or Kepler-62f truly places humans can call home? Or are there other mysteries, undiscovered worlds, waiting for us among the stars? Let's turn the page, where the universe continues to open up new horizons, leading us to dreams beyond our imagination. Imagine yourself standing on Kepler-62e, where the sky is filled with dense clouds and the air carries warm moisture all the way to the planet's poles. With an orbit of 122 days, the planet maintains a hot, humid climate, creating an ideal environment for life. Meanwhile, its sibling, Kepler-62f, has a longer orbit of 267 days, providing cooler, but still promising, days. The two planets, located in the Goldilocks zone around the orange dwarf star Kepler-62, are like jewels in the vastness of the universe, conjuring up images of sparkling oceans and thriving ecosystems. What makes Kepler-62e special? A 2014 study suggested that the planet may have a large moon, a small detail with big implications. Large moons act as guardians, regulating the planet's rotation and tilt, helping to stabilize the climate. They also act as shields, protecting the planet from asteroids and comets, allowing complex life to develop. Think of Earth's moon. Without it, would we have the regular seasons we have today? For Kepler-62e, the presence of a moon could improve the planet's chances of becoming a productive world. Although Kepler-62f is colder due to its farther distance from the star, it still has the potential to harbor life. But is it possible to imagine an advanced civilization on one of these planets? With surfaces that may be covered in oceans, lacking land, metals, or even fire, the basis of technology, developing technology like that of humans seems a daunting challenge. However, the universe is full of surprises. Who can say for sure that the creatures on Kepler-62 or 62f won't find a way to overcome the limits, creating amazing technologies that we have never dreamed of? Perhaps, in the deep oceans, an underwater civilization is quietly developing, with achievements far beyond human imagination. If we were to send a message to intelligent beings on these two planets using the Parker Solar Probe, it would take 1.85 million years to reach them, a journey longer than the history of mankind. But what about a radio signal? In just 1,200 years, a blink of an eye in space, our message could reach Kepler-62e and 62f. Although today, these two planets are not perfect copies of Earth, the universe is always changing. Our blue planet was once completely covered in oceans, but over billions of years it became a diverse world of land and sea. Could Kepler-62 and 62f undergo a similar journey, transforming into future second Earths? On Earth, we have witnessed natural wonders, such as fish gliding across the water. So why not dream of complex, even intelligent, life on these two distant planets? But the biggest challenge in studying these worlds is the enormous distances involved. Fortunately, we don't need to wait for super powerful telescopes to get our hopes up. Data from Kepler and the European Space Agency suggest that half of the stars like our Sun could harbor potentially habitable rocky planets. There is even a 95% chance that an Earth clone is hiding within 20 light-years of us, much closer than we think. How long will it be before we find a truly habitable planet near our solar system? And when that moment comes, how will it change human history? Imagine a new world where humans can set foot, build a future, and explore untouched mysteries. But the story does not end here. The universe is full of wonders waiting. Let's turn the page, where new journeys will bring us closer to the dream of conquering the stars.